Carlo, Yabashim Yosai,
Marshim Kadash, double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone, salutation to the Hakim, pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Once again, we're on the highways and hedges. Get me Proverbs 1 and 20. On the highways, once again, pushing the word of truth and sincerity. We're in detrimental times. Well, it's good times for us Israelites. We're coming to the end of the Greco-Roman Empire. The black man's going to rule, the Hispanic man's going to rule, the Native Indian man's going to rule, all the southern nations are going to be under our foot, like they're supposed to be, especially the white man, who calls himself, what do you call himself? The Europeans, when they're really the Edomites of the Bible. Everyone's got a biblical nationality, you know, they don't believe in the Bible, but they're going to come to that realization that the Bible is the truth, right? So get me Proverbs 1 and 20, and then get me Revelation 6 and 9. Okay? Alright, brother? What's your nationality? Your thumbs up, yeah? There's no food in the shop, you're going to eat your thumb.
It says here,
Proverbs 1 and 20. The Holy Bible.
The book of Proverbs chapter 1 verse 20.
Right.
It says, wisdom crieth without.
Wisdom crieth without.
She uttereth her voice in the streets.
Right, she cries in the streets. That's why the Lord said to come out in the streets. Amongst the chief place of concourse begins. Especially the Israelites. Come out and tell God's people that the one they call Jesus Christ, the black guy's coming. Who have ears to hear, let them hear. And the ones who don't want to hear, they're going to die with the white man. Yeah? They're going to die with the Chinese man. They're going to die with all these other nations. Because this is life and death we're talking. Yeah? You can't see what's happening in the world today. Nuclear war is on the horizon. Yeah? Famines is on the horizon. All these so-called it's a detrimental time they're coming. The Bible talks about a time that has never been before. Yeah? So read that again.
It says here, book of Proverbs chapter 1 verse 20.
Right.
Wisdom crieth without.
Right.
She uttereth her voice in the streets.
Right, so we're going to see the men on the streets. Read on.
It says here, she crieth in the chief place of concourse.
Right, concourse is where people's walking up and down. They've got 2 ears, so they've got to do more listening than talking. You see? 2 ears and 1 mouth. Yeah? You know?
It says here, in the openings of the gates.
Right, in the gates is where, if you feel about the ancient times, you had a city and you had gates where people come in. You had the elders at the gates, and the elders was asked, why are you coming into this city? You know what I mean? Because a gate gives you a boundary where you can't cross. So read on.
It says here, in the city she uttereth her word, saying,
right.
How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?
Right.
And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge.
Right, so fools hate this knowledge. And scorners delight in the we had scorners here last week. So mash mouth Negro and the drunken bum cracker. Yeah? Look at the Revelations. Let's read about the old Revelation is revealing something in these last days, that these nuclear weapons are going to fly. They're going to be frying tonight. Revelation 6 and 9.
The book of Revelation is chapter 6 verse 9. And when he had opened the 5th seal.
Start at Revelation 6 and 1. Yeah, get that, start from it.
It says here, Revelation chapter 6 verse 1. Revelation chapter 6 verse 1.
Yeah.
It says here, and I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals.
Right, the Lamb is the one you call Jesus Christ. Yeah? When he saw him open the seals, yeah?
And I heard, as it were, the noise of a thunder, and one of 4 beasts saying, Come and see.
Right.
And I saw and behold a white horse,
right.
And he that sat on him had a bow.
Right, the white horse represents purity. That's why white people call themselves white. But they are pure, but they're the pure devil. You understand? Pure wickedness. Yeah, pure, unadulterated wheat. That's what they call themselves white people. Because it symbolizes purity. Read on.
Says here. It says here. And I saw and behold a white horse, and he sat on him, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him.
Right, that's Yahushua. Read.
And he went forth conquering and to conquer.
So that's where he's going to come back and tell you the lion come up from his thicket, destroy of the Gentiles, is on his way. That's future prophecy. Right, this Bible is about what happened in the past, what's going to happen. You know that.
That's like
I'm thinking it's simple, man.
that's what they depict that people that watch Dragon Ball Z. I never watched it, but I saw an episode where Goku was coming back from a certain realm. I don't know who was the characters, but they needed it. That was basically how Shadow was back out. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, Goku's like, oh, what do you do if you're AC? It was like chanting and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But like when you watch that, it depicts in scripture. Then that's basically how Shadow coming back to defeat these, you know, because they have like, what's his name? It says here, Revelation 6 and 3, and when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red.
Right, and another horse that was red. Talking about the Roman Empire, the so-called white man. He's not white, he's red. Yeah? Read that again.
It says here, and there went out another horse that was red.
Another horse that's red.
And power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
Right, and as soon as this white man come into power, he took peace from the earth. Give me hold that, get the apocrypha, get Maccabees, first Maccabees, the first chapter. Let's see, this is history. When the white man come into power, he took peace from the earth. Did you know that? You know that's history. When the Greeks... Who's got nuclear weapons? Who dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki? The white man said he took peace from the earth. It's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. We're going to read it. Read that. It's in the Bible. Peace from the Israelites. From the whole earth.
That's where he's coming from. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He's going to look like this is Israel. He's army with you. You know what I'm saying? He's all of them got it. You know what? All of them got part. All of them got their part. But the white man's at the hegemony. He's at the top of it. You understand? Well, it says here, First Maccabees chapter 1.
This is how the so-called white man took peace from the earth. The red horse. Yeah, read that.
Verse 1. And it says here, and it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chetim, had smitten Darius, the king of the Persians and Medes.
Right, so he's talking about history here. Alexander the Freak. Yeah? Because you know, he's modus operandi, he was a homosexual, he swung both ways. You know how the Edomites, the so-called white people, they swing both ways. You understand?
They swing three ways, he's down with animals. So, they swing anyway. Let's just put it as that. They swing anyway. Anywhere there's a hole. There's a hole.
Nasty booger, as they say.
It says here that he reigned in his stead. The first book of Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 1.
Right, Maccabees. They were Israelites. They fought against the Roman Empire. This is the history of the last stuff. Do you know about the Maccabees?
No.
You heard about the Maccabees? Only
24.
24, yeah, this is a youngster. So, if you know about history, what they tell you about history, where black people come from?
Well, fortunately, I learned about the slave trade. I didn't learn about it.
So they told us we come from where? Africa.
Yeah.
Right? Do you believe we're from Africa? Huh?
I think so, yeah.
You think so? Yeah. See, that's what I mean. We're from Jerusalem. We are the real Jews. Africa's named after a white man. You know, Leo Scipio Africanus. Did you know that? See? When he conquered that region during the Second Punic War, when he took down Hannibal. Yeah, but this is what they don't teach us. They teach us we're just blacks in Africa swinging on trees. We're the royalty. When you look at Queen Elizabeth I, that's a black woman. Henry VIII is a black man. King James is black. Mozart, Beethoven, hiding. All these people that they put in the hegemony, they put up, they're all us. But what they did is they said, look, why we got these niggas subjugated in slavery? See that bunch of slavery? They said, listen, everyone's roots when they beat the slaves, so they beat it out of us. What they did is, with the elders, they killed. You know the ones what knew? They killed them. So if you get rid of all that knowledge, get rid of all that knowledge, then they can start to brain dirty you with their knowledge. So they call us black people. Are you black? You're Jackie's black. Wait, come here.
I'm not good.
Your Jackie's black, you're brown. That shows you how brain dirty you are, you see? Of course she says. See, this they've done a good number on us, you see? Our people are just gone. As we told you, Hosea 4 and 6, our people are destroyed. And they don't want to hear the truth because they're comfortable in this wicked place, especially the woman.
I don't want to see that.
But they can't take it because they're proud. They've got nothing. They're proud, but they've got nothing, but they're still proud. But pride goes before destruction and a walking spirit.
Oh, that's some Proverbs 1:20. It says here, 1 Maccabees chapter 1 verse 2. Well, I'll read one again, sorry. 1 Maccabees chapter 1 verse 1. And it happened that after Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian.
Right, and that's his father, Philip the Macedonian, another homosexual. Yeah, read. Oh, swings go. Well, anyway, let's see. Which way? As long as it's away, they go.
It says here.
They're right.
It says here, who came out of the land of Chetim and smitten Darius, the king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned.
That's history. If you go to the library, you can learn about Darius and Cyrus. They're the Medo-Persians. The Medo-Persian Empire is when, I think it was Darius took over Cyrus. Because the Persians are the Iranians. What it was, they become the conquerors, so they took over the kingdom. They took over that. You understand? That's why I told you it was lopsided. You can see, when you read about the history, it tells you about it's lopsided down. The Persians took over the Medes. Yeah? Read on.
It says here, the Persians and the Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
Right, and Alexander reigned the first over Greece. The Greeks were the so-called, they called them the sons of Japheth. The Samoans, the Fijians, and the so-called Aborigines of Australia. These are the children of Japheth, the Etruscans and the Noans they called in that time. But they're the sons of Japheth. So Alexander, just like in today, those Jewish people are claiming to be us. They moved us out the way, and then they took on our national origin, calling themselves us. Just like they call themselves so-called white men. He goes and conquers, call himself Greeks. Just like today, he calls himself the Egyptians. When they watch the movies, they put themselves up as Egyptians, the great people. So they stole everything, not only physical, tangible, solids as in gold, but they've stolen people's origins, national origins. Yeah? They've stolen the chosen people. They've stolen their national origins, claiming to be the so-called the slave, the people who through the slave trade, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Read up.
It says here, and made many wars and won many strongholds.
Right, so made many wars. The so-called white man was created to make wars. And what's happening now? He's fighting his own now. The Russian is fighting in Ukraine. That's white on white crime. Yeah? All of a sudden they're being fed with their own flesh. But they're still persecuting the so-called Negroes over there. Because in Ukraine everybody's, oh, Ukraine! But they're not worried about the black people who are being persecuted over there.
Yeah, right.
You know? They'll tell you about, oh, a little blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl's dying. But they're persecuting the so-called blacks over there. Because they're only worried about their own. And that's why the Lord said he's going to destroy these people. These devils are going to be destroyed. Because they're hypocrites. Yeah? A bunch of actors. That's what it means. That's what hypocrite means, an actor. They're the best actors and actresses. That's why they win all the Oscars. Yeah? Read up.
and made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth.
Right, so the white man's gone throughout the earth with his weapons of war, yeah? And slew people and dropped bombs on them and taken their resources. The same thing with Alexander. There's nothing new under the sun. This is what the crackers been doing from day one. The Edomite. Going through the earth, stealing, robbing, killing. Yeah? Not even killing, murdering. Because he does it for no reason. Murdering. Yeah? You know.
It says here, he went through the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations.
Elam, the Edomites, you know?
Elam, Ishmael, like that so-called Arabs and the so-called Indians, they went over there, and even up to the point where they changed the national dish. They even stole their national dish and so-called now the British national dish is chicken and swallow.
Yeah, curry.
Yeah. Just down to the little point, they stole everything. It says here,
you know why? They have no culture. They're culture vultures. That's who they are. They're nobody. They're population. Based on.
that's why Americans are nothing.
Yeah, because they need that for their kingdom to function. Yeah. Like you say, when you've got places like Russia where there's more Caucasians, it's dead. The society's dead. They need other nations to spice it up, to spruce it up. You know?
It says here, so much that the earth was quiet before him.
Right, so the earth was quiet before the white man coming to power. Yeah? As soon as he come into power, yeah, the so-called Caucasian man, you know about your history, sir?
No, I mean, I know I've got an awful lot to be embarrassed about.
I see, at least you're truthful.
At least you admit it.
Yeah, at least
But the way I see it, okay, the first thing what I have to acknowledge is that the body that I'm in is not a great body. In that, here I am, some kind of white.
Would you say you're white then, because this is white? More whiter than you. What would you say you really are? Because even that is masquerading who you are.
When I was in school in North London, I was Greasy Gator. That was the.
Who called you that?
Everybody. That was the abuse for me when I was in school.
What was your own Caucasian people call you that?
Well, they didn't see me as Caucasian. They didn't see the same way. They saw me as a Greasy Gator.
No, but who was calling you? Was it so-called
Polish
Caucasian?
people. Polish people.
Cornish or who?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's why? Because where the area was from?
Cornwall.
No, I'm saying they called you a Greasy Gator because of what? Because of the area you was from.
Where they thought I came from. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they looked at me and they called me names because of my physical appearance.
Right.
But that was nothing. We're talking in the 1960s and 70s. This doesn't compare with what, for example, Ugandan Asians, Kenyan Asians.
We're not worried about them Kenyans and all that. They never went through what we went through.
And Caribbean people.
That's the people we're dealing with, the Benjamins and the so-called African Americans and the North American Indians.
But I suppose what I was saying to you is that, there's been slavery everywhere.
No,
Slavery
not like
is
this.
not the
It
exclusive
tells you
preserve.
there's no slavery been like ours. Because if you know, the white man built his society for 400 to 500 years of free labour. The first commodity was slaves.
Yeah, well, I know.
And cotton and sugar.
Yeah.
And who was picking? Who was cutting sugar?
But there was
and who was picking
there
the
was
cotton?
plenty of slavery before that.
Not
built
like
the
this.
United Kingdom.
Not like this. There's no other slavery
Well, how
like
do you
this.
think the Romans got stuff built?
The Romans? You are the Romans. You so-called white men are the Romans. So you
How
won't
did
for-
the
By
Romans
slaves.
build? Of course,
By slaves.
exactly.
Yeah.
How did the Egyptians build stuff?
by slaves.
Yeah.
But the Egyptians are not us. The Egyptians are Hermetic nations. They took us, the blacks. There's no other slavery like us, as I'm trying to explain.
Yeah.
You don't put us with the Africans, because we are not Africans.
Well,
They're black like us, but they're not our people.
Right,
Do
okay.
you understand?
I mean, what I was going to say was, the thing that I tried to acknowledge is the body that I'm in, I have to acknowledge exactly what that represents. It represents entitlement, it represents privilege,
Right.
it represents an awful, it affords me advantage.
Right.
All of
So how did you get all that? How did you get to afford it? By killing, by rape, by
not
murder.
me personally,
Not
but
now,
my
but your
forebears.
nation. You say
My
your
forebears,
forebears, right.
yeah.
So they put us in what it is, they put
Yeah.
us and they build us. Everywhere you go, the so-called white man tell you. You know your blessing is to live by the sword. That's your blessing.
Well, it may or may not have been. I mean,
Your
nation.
nation, I'm not talking you per se. I'm saying your nation.
Yeah, and my point, the other point I was going to make is that I'm not entirely sure what my nation is.
You're an Edomite. If you're Cornwall, if you're British, English.
I'm not. I'm Jewish.
Oh, you're Jewish.
Somewhere back there,
Oh my
I'm Jewish.
God.
Somewhere back there, I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
What?
On your mother or father. Your father.
My mother's side.
Oh, you're not Jewish.
No, wait a minute. Sorry, my father's mother was Jewish.
Your father's mother. Well, what your grandmother? Yeah, what about your grandmother?
Oh, I've no idea. No, I think he was an Essex.
Everyone's determined, your nationality is determined by their father. He carries the seed. Do you understand that?
No, that's Cockness.
Get numbers 1
Oh,
and
really?
18.
No, you need to
You
know
know the
that.
man carries
That's
X and Y chromosome. Determines the nationality and the sex.
But half my genetic makeup
We're
comes
going to find that. This is what the Bible
half,
says.
yeah,
Numbers 1
well,
and 18.
that's not a scientific document.
It's more scientific than any cracker put together. It's telling you that you're going into nuclear war. Yeah? And we're on the
Oh,
precipice.
right, okay.
of it.
I see
Now
where
read
we're
that.
going now.
It says that. Hold on,
I see where we're going. Okay.
This is what you said. Let's see what the Bible says.
Yeah, no, listen, I tell you, I'm not...
Says in chapter
Just
1.
listen for 1 second. You've got 2
Numbers
ears,
chapter
1
1,
mouth. So
verse 18.
sometimes listen more.
All right, go on.
It says here, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigree
Your pedigree is your ancestry. Yeah, your lineage. You declare your pedigree
of their families by the house of their fathers.
by your pedigree is determined by the house of your fathers.
When was this written?
2,000 years ago.
Right, okay. I think that answers quite a lot of the questions there.
There's one in.
I mean, you know, we've had Darwin since that.
Yeah, Darwin is a cracker. He's a load of rubbish. Darwin, you know that so-called Edomite.
Okay, let me ask you a question, just so that we can find out what kind of frame of reference that you have.
Well, Darwin is an evolutionary man, isn't he?
Yes, so how do you feel about you don't believe in evolution? Do you believe that God
Like
created...
up to monkey,
Hey,
turns to a
I'm
man
just
now.
answering your question. So that we can just try and ascertain what our frame of reference is. My guess is from where this is going, is you're going to tell me that God created the earth and the things that live on it. Is that what you're about to tell me?
Yes.
Right, okay. Then we are... am I being filmed?
No.
What's happening?
That's for my purpose, on me.
This is for our own personal safety, people that are in public.
Okay, right. So I
Yeah,
just
because you had trouble last week.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, I just don't want to do that.
That's all right.
okay.
But,
You're being filmed. There's a camera right there. Can you see it on the top of that thing? You're being filmed.
Yeah. But it's not hearing what I'm saying.
Huh?
But
You're spreading your knowledge. So don't you want your knowledge to be spread out there? Huh?
possibly.
Right, you see?
I mean, I think maybe there was some accolades for
Yeah,
it.
I think go read that.
You're a flatterer. You're a flatterer. But I think we don't have the same frame of reference.
I know,
Because
I know. Do you know why?
I
You know why we
am
don't have the same progress?
persuaded by the idea of evolution
You know why you-
more than I am by the
I
idea.
know. Do you know why you don't
Yes.
have that? Because you Edomite, everyone's got biblical nationality. And the Edomite was created to do what thou will. You know that saying?
That I
Do what thou will. Do you know what that means?
yeah.
Do what you will. That's how you wasn't built with a spiritual makeup. You was
You
built
don't
with
know
a
that,
carnal
mate.
makeup. You just told me that. Do you believe in the Bible?
If you're talking about
Do you believe there's a God? You just started with a God
No,
maker.
no.
Right, so there you go. So you went, that's what I'm trying to
No,
say.
I
Your
don't.
makeup is that you're not built with the spirit of body.
But all my ancestors, my parents' parents, all of those people grew up in a Christian nation. They went to church.
But they've done that as a makeup. They didn't do it because they
Yeah, I mean, quite possibly, but it creates a framework. It creates a moral framework, whether we like it or not.
All right, then, so you talk about morals, yeah? A moral framework. How do you feel about homosexuality?
Fine.
Thank you. So this is a moral framework. It tells you that a homosexual is supposed to get put to death. Do you know why?
Because the people that think
How
that,
did you get here? Did you have two men named down or two women? Or did you have like a father and a mother?
I had a father and a mother.
So that shows you go against nature. You were actually created to go against nature. You are the Bible talks about there's a devil under earth. And he would do certain things like you said. So it's not okay for a man.
Why have you got a picture of that actor there?
Because he's as red as hell. And what colour's the devil?
Oh God, really? Right? Okay, Satan. We don't know.
Crimson. What's a crimson mean?
I don't know.
Crimson means criminal.
No, it doesn't.
It comes from yes, it does.
No, it
That's why I had
doesn't.
the crimson pirate. Remember the crimson pirate?
Listen,
why did they put the two words?
listen.
The criminal pirate. You see what I mean?
Not at all. Crimson,
Yes, yes.
crimson and criminal
Yes.
do not have the
That's
same
why they have
root.
the
Look at the etymology of the word crimson. It goes back to criminal.
That's why they have the
Okay,
same.
crimson pirate. That's what I had.
Listen. Okay, so I believe in evolution.
Well, no.
There is nothing morally wrong with homosexuality.
And that's because you're an Edomite. That's what we're trying to say. That's why
You are a bigot.
No, I'm not a bigot.
You are a bigot.
These are
You
your
are a
terms.
bigot.
These are your terms. What you Edomites come
What
up with.
would you do if I had said I was gay? What would you
Toxic
do?
masculinity. You Edomites come up with these terms because you're not righteous. There's not one righteous
I do
bone
believe
in
in
your body.
toxic masculinity. I think
You know
there is
what I
such
mean?
a thing as toxic masculinity.
Right, because you're an Edomite. That's what we're trying to explain to you. You're an
This
Edomite. The
sounds like
children
you're insulting
of
me.
Satan.
Okay. Guys, I mean, I really hope that nobody, that you don't invite any.
We don't
It's a
invite
good idea.
Edomites. We're here
Sorry?
telling you your judgment. You're planning to nuclear war. You're going to have starvation. This is all because of
You
slavery.
too?
No.
What are you
not us.
doing? What
No,
do you?
no, no,
What are
no.
your plans?
We've got someone what you ain't got. But you know,
So when
you've got no
if he
Enoch.
does kick off
Huh?
in the next few months, what are your plans?
My plans, here's my plans here. My plans is in there. It's already set up. It's already been written.
I think-
Theos.
I think-
means theatre. It goes back to God and that. That's where you get your movies. Yeah, this God's got his movie and he's playing it out right now. It's already been written. That you're going to go into captivity.
Right, okay.
You're going into nuclear war.
Right.
All that.
Right.
It's all there. It's all in there. You don't believe it, right?
No,
You're
I don't.
laughing. I know. But that's why it's good when you go into nuclear war and you get starvation. You've got your pestilence already here, mate. You've got your pestilence here already. Yeah,
Which
your
one?
Merberg.
Which
And
one?
now you've got Delta Crom. You've got another one now. Because God
How
said
did
he's
you
going to
feel
bring
about
them.
COVID?
What you going to say?
It says here, this is your answer, yeah? It says Job chapter 5 verse 17. It says, behold, happy is the man whom the Most High corrected, and you're not happy with the correction, or in other words, the rebuke that you're receiving. Okay, because your spirit obviously, if you're not,
He ain't going to get easy either.
yeah, you don't want to be
He's proud.
corrected. It says here, therefore despise not thou the chastening, the correction of the Almighty.
Don't believe it.
Yeah,
I'm not.
so it says
They
here,
think they are God because they splice genes and do all that stuff.
Wait a minute.
They've got,
You have identified me as being part of it.
Yeah, you're an Edomite.
Which I'm
because
saying
you carry
is
the- you carry the customs of a certain
that this is my awareness. That I'm aware that when I'm seen, I'm identified.
Yeah,
In
you're
by,
identified.
but that identification may have nothing to do with who I am.
Do you know
If I had said to
identification-
you that I was
Do
gay,
you know the colour
what
of your
would you have
skin
done?
is your identification as well? Do you know why the sun gives you malignant melanoma? Because that's a curse. How come it doesn't give me?
Well, actually, it doesn't give me.
If you stay in the sun too long,
I get
you
brown.
malignant
I get brown.
melanoma.
I get brown.
That shows you've got a curse on you. You've got the curse on you.
Listen, have a
Well,
good
this is in the
afternoon.
Bible. But you won't believe it because you're not. Your makeup is not for this. This is for the
Are you,
children of Israel.
what I want to know, okay,
this
so
is the
hang
plan
on.
of how we'll escape these troubles that you guys will come with.
Which,
It says here, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea,
We're
in
going to be
7.
delivered when the nuclear missiles get shot off from Russia, China,
Yeah.
and all them. We're going to be delivered.
Yea, in 7, there shall no evil touch thee.
Right. We're not gonna be touched.
where do you...
In famine, because these ships are obviously on the shores, the coastline, that's the reason why these stores are not being filled as they used to, because it's a creative famine, it's a control famine.
Right.
It's
It's not
not
elites in this society creating because they're going into digital currency.
Exactly.
And they're going to useless, they call it useless eaters.
So
They want to keep pocket.
It says that in famine he shall redeem thee from death, from starvation, and in war from the power of the sword.
War was coming, we're going to be delivered, the Israelites.
It says here, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue,
Right?
neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh.
Right, the destruction was coming, that's going to be the ultimate.
I mean, I've heard all of this before.
Yeah, but you can see it now, not heard it.
No, I've
you can
had
see it coming to fruition.
Was
It's happening now.
what were people saying 200 years ago when they were saying it's happening next week?
No, they weren't saying
Of course they were. I mean,
They weren't
there
saying-
used to be,
no.
it used to be. I've had Jehovah's Witnesses.
No, they haven't got the truth.
Who are you?
We are the Israelites.
Oh, you're the Israelites.
Yes.
Okay.
The sons of Jacob. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
As you can see here, these are the 12 tribes.
You're the Israelites.
Yeah, these people over here are not the authentic Israelites. These are
No, they're Jewish. They want to be us. They're the Ish.
Give me so I'm damned from the outset. I'm going to the devil because I'm
damned.
white.
No, we didn't say because you're white.
You've told me
because of your
basically-
actions. Hold it down. Because of your actions.
You
It's
don't
all
know
about your
my
actions.
You
put
don't
us
know
in
about my
slavery.
actions.
He that need your people.
But I
You've
didn't
got
do
white
that. I
privilege.
didn't do that.
You didn't do it. Give me
I didn't do
Isaiah,
it.
14,
I didn't
21.
do
Let's see.
it.
Let's see.
I didn't
It's
do
in the
it.
Bible. Yes.
I didn't do it. Oh, right, okay. I'm going because it's getting boring
I know,
now.
because you're an Edomite. Your spirit can't take truth, man.
Hebrews chapter 12 verse
16 means to be any fornicator or profane person is the white man. Yeah? There's no more profane person because he's been in power for so long, he thinks nobody's going to take me down. You
It
know what
says
I mean?
here, the book of Hebrews chapter 4 verse 12,
Right.
the word of the Most High Yahweh is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged
Oh,
sword.
took that one.
Yeah, because that's how they have to flee.
Yeah,
we can
because
flee, we
yeah,
don't have to pursue.
it goes up in their marrow. You know?
Yeah. It says
It's not a vessel of righteousness, it's a vessel of evil. So when righteousness comes out of the Bible, it's a repellent. You know what I mean? It's like garlic to a vampire. You know? They got to flee, jump back in their coffin. You know what I mean?
it says here, because the light,
He's a Christian and Christopher Lee. You don't remember them guys? Yeah, I know. It's hard.
I saw it, it was fucking right.
Yeah, Peter Christian and Christopher Lee. This was on point. You understand? Shows you that
That's a true-
not liking the light. You understand?
It's a true picture of it. It says here, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit.
Right, because white people don't like truth, they like lies. Yeah, they swallow in lies. Yeah? Calling Jesus a white guy. You know what I mean? All these lies they tell, but now it's being broken down. I told you, lift that banner, the Bible. You know? The white man is never going to get the Bible because he's the son of Satan. Did you know that, man? White people are the son of Satan, they're daughters of Satan. And they ain't going to believe the Bible. It talks about their downfall, you know? Read that.
It says here, it says here, it says here, unto the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart.
Right, and that's what the Bible is saying. It doesn't matter when you speak this Bible, they can't take it because they haven't got no. What are you doing, man?
That's good, isn't it?
Doesn't matter. I don't understand why you did that, man.
But yeah, sorry. You can see he was getting uncomfortable the more you was
Yeah, because remember these guys, they're proud, innit? So they think they know everything.
he came up, he understood fully, but it's like when you go into it, it's like he don't want to hear it from unless he's saying it.
It's their role, isn't it? So he's all smiling, you know, because he can't believe that he's ever going to fall. It tells you that in the Bible that Esau is such a blasted devil that he's so proud. It tells you that he shall never see no trouble. I mean, it tells you that his sons and daughters shall never see any death. Put that in the middle. Put that book in the middle.
This one.
Yeah. No, in the middle here. Right at the end, but in the middle.
Yeah.
Right here, right here.
Oh, so, joint, yeah.
They think they're never going to go down. This is what the crackers, the Edomites. But we're seeing his downfall now, man. You mean he's going to go down with nuclear weapons?
Oh.
Yeah, he's going down in hot ants. They're doing it, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. It says here,
That's it.
this in Hebrews chapter 4, verse 13. Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in the Most High's sight. It says in his sight. But all things are naked and open unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do.
Just go back to where we were. What was we reading?
It was, what do you want to talk about? It was in the second Ezra Maccabees.
Like that.
I'll tell you what, just get Psalms 91. Yeah?
It says here,
It's broken down, man.
Psalms chapter 91 verse 1, it says here, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
Right, so we're going to abide under the shadow of the Edomites. We don't know about the secret place. What's happening is some of these people don't understand this Bible. This Bible talks about nuclear war. It talks about famine. It talks about Russia. Gog and Magog. It talks about Turkey. And it talks about the so-called Edomites. The white people are rulers. They call them white people, but they're red. They're really red. It talks about their rulership, how it would be evil and wicked. And it won't last. Yeah? The white man's world is coming to an end. Yeah? Coming to an end. Yeah? Now read that.
It says here, quick precept, it says Proverbs chapter 22 verse 3,
Right, read.
a prudent man foreseeth the evil.
Right, a prudent man, there's evil coming. But these Edomites and the Japanese and all these other nations, they can't see it. You know what I mean? Right, yeah, how you doing? Yeah. I see you with your woman the other day, the Chinese woman. You know, Yeah, I see you.
26 years we've been married.
26 years.
26 years.
Wow.
I don't even look old enough, do I?
Alright, man, take care.
So, you know, we were covered anything,
Yeah, he come up here as well, and I gave a grilling as well, so he knows, isn't it? Huh?
It says here, Proverbs chapter 22 verse 3,
Right.
a prudent man foreseeth the evil
Right, a prudent man sees the evil coming. Yeah? Read.
and hideth himself.
Where does he hide himself? In the Bible. But it's not talking about the Edomite, the Chinese, it's talking about the Israelite man. He's going to hide himself under the wings of the one they call God. Like that Esau, the Edomite, he doesn't believe in God. Why do you not believe in God? You know. But that's why you're going to fall hard. You're going to fall the hardest. You know?
It says here, but the simple pass on and are punished.
And the who?
The simple.
The simple passed on and they're punished. Because these shops ain't going to have no food in them. Yeah? The fuel prices is going to go sky high. And that's going to cause the so-called commodity to fall. Everything's going to crumble. It's going to have a ripple effect. Russia, dispersing their oil. That's going to cause hyperinflation.
That's the spirit as well. See how that woman's carrying the
Right,
Bible.
ladies? Prices is going to go up.
See how that woman's carrying the Bible right. It's people not going to be caring to take their car to the store. They're going to be trying to run to the store to get their hands on it.
And they're going to be driving because the fuel prices are going to be too high. A lot of these cars are going to be parked up. You know?
It says here, by humility and fear of Yahweh are riches and honor and life.
Right, you know?
Thorns and snares are in the way of the forward. He that keep his soul shall be far from them.
Right. So get Isaiah 63.
You want to finish the song?
Two Psalms. I wasn't fully that one Psalm.
It says here, Psalms chapter 91, verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of Yahweh, he is my refuge and my fortress, O my power, in him will I trust.
Right, and that's how that cracker was up there talking about what's going to happen to you? If there's nuclear war, what's going to happen to you? We trust. This is our refuge. We trust in the Most High. These crackers and these other nations, they've got nobody to lean on. As long as we come back to the one they call God, we're going to be fine when the nuclear missiles are launched. We're going to be fine when the famines come. We're going to be fine when that fire and the earthquakes and the tornadoes, we're going to be fine. Because we're going to dwell in the secret place of the Most High. And that's keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. trusting in the one they call Yahweh Shai. Yeah? Read.
It says here, Psalm chapter 91 verse 3, surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler.
Right, he's going to deliver us from the snare of the fowler. He's going to deliver from the nuclear missile. That's what the second coming of the one called Jesus Christ is about. To deliver the so-called blacks, Hispanics and Native Indians from out of the hands of our enemies. Because our people don't think they got enemies. That's because they're walking around, doing shopping, you've still got enemies. If the white man had his way, he would have made you extinct years ago. But he hasn't got his way. He can't make you extinct because the Most High, he's the one who controls the thing. Not the cracker, we know.
It says here, surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler,
right,
and from the noisome pestilence.
Right, the noisome pestilence is the nuclear missiles. They're going to be delivered from the noisome pestilence. Right? Because when the nuclear missiles explode, they make a lot of noise. Ask the Japanese, they had Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and that was nuclear. I'm sorry, atomic. It was atomic. Now you're going to get nuclear weapons, they explode, and they melt, they burn at 1,000,000 degrees. And Russia go and launch them on Europe, especially America. They're the devils, yeah? The Pentagon and all them. The Pentagon is a satanic symbol, yeah?
It says here, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust.
Right, it looks like a little chick. The chick goes under the feathers of his mother to be covered. That's why the Lord said he's going to cover us just like that, with his feathers. In other words, he's going to protect us when the nuclear bombs, when the famine, and all these terrors come on the earth. We're going to be protected. Read.
It says here, his truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
Right, the truth from the Bible, that's going to keep us. Shield and buckler is when you go to war, you have an armor bearer. Shield and buckler is to put the armor on you. So the same way the Most High is going to do that for us with the Spirit, with his word, that's going to cover us.
It says here, thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth in the day.
Right, the arrow, if you know about the term of a nuclear weapon, what's been stolen, they call it a broken arrow. The film with John Travolta, it's called Broken Arrow, it's about nuclear weapons. So these arrows, it's symbolic to a nuclear weapon. The arrows that fly by night, yeah? Read?
It says here, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness.
Not for the pestilence that walketh in darkness.
That's like basically the so-called variants and stuff. And things that haven't been brought out yet, especially when these bodies are just lying in the ground, like the dust, and now it's collectively. They're festive. Yeah. And the water, when the water starts getting
cut off, yeah, when they cut the water. I don't know what these people are doing. They're so stuck in their own country, they've never seen no hardship. They've never had to travel miles to get water. What are you going to do in the middle of London? What are you going to do? Lift up the drain and take that scummy water and wash your back and cook with it and drink it. People are going to be done at it, man. You know.
It says here, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. A thousand shall fall by thy side,
1,000 will fall by our side,
and 10,000 but at thy right hand.
right, 10,000 people will die at your right hand.
But it shall not come near thee, nigh thee.
It's going to come not near the Israelites that are the elect. The so-called elect of Israel are not going to get these nuclear weapons. So they'll come at them, they'll get you like sick. These people are sick.
They're aware of the fear of war, but they're hoping for the best.
Yeah,
you can see in their face,
yeah.
like, they know war is like, it's like, you know when you see a shadow, and you're hoping and expecting it, you know what I'm saying?
Hoping everything's going to come back to normal.
Yeah, just
when their phones cut off, because these people, their life revolves around their phones and TikTok and all that, you know, self-worship. Wait till they cut off that, the EMP closes down all that.
Yeah, the network system.
These people are going to be killing each other if they've got a phone. You know what I mean? It's all buried in their phones.
says here, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked.
Right, the reward of the wicked. Give me who the wicked are. Give me Job 9:24 and then Malachi 1 and 4. We're going to find out who the wicked is. There is a nation on the earth that is created to be wicked. And we got them there. We told them about crimson. Comes from a criminal. Yeah? We told them crimson don't mean criminal. Yes, it does. That's where you get the term criminal from. The crimson pirate. He was a criminal pirate. Now read that.
It says here, Malachi chapter 1. Start from 1, yeah. It says here, verse 1. The burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi.
Right, and Malachi was an Israelite, a prophet. All the prophets are Israelites. You don't get a prophet Muhammad. No such thing as that. He's not a prophet. Muhammad was an illiterate camel jockey. Yeah? Read.
It says here, I have loved you, saith Yahweh, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
Right, so God loves the Israelites, He loves us, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And our people say, where do you love us? How come we're not calling the white man to the right? How come we're getting killed in the streets? How come Sean Floyd got a knee on his neck? You know why? Because you broke the commandments and you're still breaking them. You've given up on God's commandments. You've given up on them. Your God now is a so-called white man. That's your God. Yeah? And he's the devil the Bible speaks of. So really, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you're worshipping Satan when you worship the white Jesus. Yeah? Read.
It says here, was not Esau Jacob's brother?
Right, was not the cracker Esau?
Saith
See
the Lord.
Esau there? Was not Esau our brother? Yes, he was our brother. The red devil is our brother. He's, like I was explaining to the Edomite here, that the so-called white man and the black man come out of the same patch. They come out of a black woman. Yeah? The white race, the so-called white race, they come out of a black woman. Yeah? A black man and a black woman. They're the Edomites, the ones that end up on people. Yeah? The first people. That's why the sun kills them. And that's why they got to wear factor 50 to try and protect them from a natural resource as the sun. And that's why he's spraying chemtrails in the air, because it's the devil. Yeah? Trying to block the sun and poison the people at the same time. Yeah?
Says here, yet I love Jacob, and I hated Esau.
Right, he loves us, Jacob. That's why. He loves the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And he hates white people. God hates you.
And I hated Esau.
That's why he created you without no people. That's why you smell like wet dogs when the rain touches you.